lads and lasses, and g'day, mates. Welcome to an instant reaction show from the Toon podcast. Rather inconveniently for us over here in Australia, Newcastle decided to announce a brand new home strip and at the same time a brand new sponsor, kind of how it usually goes hand in hand. We were just about getting ready to go to Kip, I think, weren't we, Craigie? And then this news dropped, and we had to sort of tumble out of bed and dive onto the computer and give our 2 pence worth on what we've seen revealed from Newcastle today. First of all, just before we get into that, Craig, it's 11:30 p.m. here on the east coast of Australia. Does Newcastle just don't care about us, do they? What are they thinking? They didn't give us a heads up or anything.
It's disgraceful. Now there was no preemptive tweet that they normally like maybe a few hours before saying we've got some exciting news to share or anything. Just dropped a bombshell. There was a few rumors that the kit was going to launch today, but obviously we were hoping for a few hours earlier, so we'd get a few more hours kitting.
It's always nice to get a few more hours kitting, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Inconsiderate bastards. All right, well, look, let's just get right into it. We've had 30 minutes to kind of look at this and then to scramble onto the into the studios and sort of get ready for a conversation here. We probably haven't got that much in the way of opinions, deep opinions at least, but we've got some initial reactions. That's all this is going to be. Let's have a look at the strips first of all. So two things right off the bat there, Craggy. Seller, new sponsor, long-term sponsor, as revealed by Newcastle today. And I tell you what, my first reaction is that's a nice looking kit, that.
It's definitely head turner. It's one of the smarter ones I've had in a good number of years. Definitely.
I'm glad they've resisted the urge to put a bit of color into that seller logo. There was a bit of a suspicion there might be a little bit of color in the actual iconography side of it, but I think they've done the right treatment here. I might have been tempted from a designer's perspective to just expand the white border around the edges of the logo. I mean, nitpicking here. Just to expand out the white edges, just so that it kind of goes over the black bars that it's coupling up to. Can I just zoom in a little bit? Can I get that a bit closer? Can I zoom in here? I've had literally need time to sort this out. Now I'm getting anywhere with that. Can I do this way? Not really. You get the idea, though. There's a very thin white border just around the kind of around the logo. And I think it might have just been nice to see what it would look like if I had have blended in with the white stripes either side. But otherwise, I think the right treatment there was black and white. No mincing around with colors. You can obviously sort of see the Noon kind of thing just poking out on the collar on the left-hand side there. I guess the Champions League, Premier League is going to go on the right-hand side collar. Sleeve. But I think it's quite nice to see those black and white stripes on the cuffs and on the neckline as well.
It's definitely a nod back to one of the kits of the 80s. I think it was the 83, maybe 84 kit. So nice little nod back to the heritage there, back in the Keegan playing days. And as if by magic, as if we preempted that sort of thing. There's a photo of it right there. Now, it's definitely an homage to that type of kit. That's pretty much evident. The big black stripe down the middle is perfect. I know the one that you've got on now, which is season just gone, where the white stripe was down the front. So it is a nice change. It is a big improvement personally. I just hope the quality control is a big improvement this year too.
Freaking hell. It looks like it's going to be an iron-on club badge, which I know some people get the arse about, with a bit of colour in there, interestingly. And they've actually removed the colour from the Castor logo. Whereas on this one, I guess it's because it's put onto the black stripe rather than a white stripe. So on this one, which side am I? Here we are. It's got that kind of Castor blue that matches the Fun 88. And it's on the white stripe. So obviously blue on black wouldn't have worked very well from definition perspective. So it makes a lot of sense to put the white Castor on the black stripe. Iron-on badge. We're going to get a lot of people whinging about iron-on badges. People seem to have this thing about stitched badges, don't they?
I'm take it or leave it, to be honest. As long as the quality is decent, I'm happy with it. And again, I keep using the word quality and Castor in the same sentence, something that we're not overly fond of, that's for sure. But I don't know if I've seen a photo of the back of it yet. Are the stripes continued on the back, or is it all one colour?
Don't know, actually. It's a good question. There's nothing on the announcement page just yet, by the looks of things. I should probably give props out to that bloke on, I assume he's a bloke anyway, on Twitter, who came out with this fully released kind of image. It looked a little bit suspicious. Having said that, these images here look almost exactly the same. Obviously, Bruno's staring at the camera, where he was on the other one, he was looking weirdly off to his right, wasn't it? I think off into the kind of distance.
It was.
Yeah, but it looks like that's all came from the same art department. But yeah, this old one here with the granddad collar, this bloody tight to your neck. And also, you see it a lot on the games as well, where a lot of the players are constantly pulling down the front of the necks, because the last thing you want when you're belting around the place and getting all sweaty in that is a tight to your bloody Adam's apple friggin' round neck. You know, I've never really liked these round necks that much.
Nah.
Yeah, this one isn't, you know, if you look at the side by side here, if you look at that one from 84, 85, 86, that one is, it looks like they've went for a more subtle V collar. It's obviously slightly V, which is it's obviously going to come a little bit down from your Adam's apple, if you're a bloke at least. Whereas that 85, 86 one came down a little bit further. I think that's going to be hopefully a nice fit. As you've just touched on, Craig, the sizing side of it is probably going to be the key. They've had a fair few goes at this now. You have to hope that they'll get the bloody sizing right this time around, won't you? I mean, if they get this wrong again, and then the customer service is dog shit at the same time, I mean, it's just going to be a bloody nightmare again. The club's going to cop it again, aren't they? I mean, it's going to have to be improved this time around, surely.
You've got you cannot not have such two shit seasons where everything, there was very little positive about the quality and the delivery waiting times and the customer service and everything in between. And I never seen anything positive about that. I mean, look how long it took us to get a shirt delivered to the top of Scotland. That was best part of a month.
It took bloody ages.
Thereabouts. And so, you know, I know we're not the only ones that have had bad experiences with them. There's probably more bad than good. Like I say, they've had time to iron out those kinks, get everything right. And you'd like to think they've went to the players and said, look, what can we do to make this kit better for you? Maybe that's why they've gone for a slight V-neck this time rather than a round neck. And they've actually listened to the fans as well, because obviously the fans are the ones that fill the coffers for both the club and the brand themselves. So taking that feedback in, hopefully the quality is better. And one other thing as well that we really don't know, we probably won't find out for a while, is if they're keeping the red numbers on the back too.
That's absolute classic, the red numbers on the back, isn't it? I could see it being red. That would work, obviously. They could do a white square with the black numbers, I guess. What I don't want to see is that god-awful frigging shield that they had that time.
I love that one.
Eh?
From the 99 Cup final one, wasn't it? Or 98, 99 Cup final?
It was ridiculous, man.
Nah, I loved it. I love that one.
It took up most of the back of the bloody thing, and it looked like a target. It was ridiculous.
Then you had a little crest at the bottom which said Newcastle United on it. So everywhere you went, people knew what team you supported, regardless.
As if the black and white stripes on enough. Black and white stripes, mate. As if that's not much of a giveaway. How?
Not County Juventus, they all wear black and white.
True. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on the back. I don't know if this is just a weird render or something, but you see how the front there is tucking up?
I think that's just the way they've done it.
But they haven't got the back. The back's all the way down full length, and the front's kind of.
You can actually see the back panel at the bottom, which shows the stripes continuing through.
You can see the well, it looks like it's if that's accurate there, that looks like it's going to be a white stripe in the middle. So
it does.
That means they went for, which makes a bit of sense, because they probably want more white on the back than they do black on the back.
Make the numbers stand out.
Because you want to get the numbers to stand out. Yeah, exactly. So that's an interesting little detail you've just spotted there, Craggy. I don't know why it's turned over at the bottom. That's a bit strange. Just come back to the iron-on badge. You know, people wanted a stitch-on badge, and they gave it one on this, the one I'm wearing here, and the quality is terrible. Like if you try and read out Newcastle United, mate, it looks like Michael J. Fox wrote it or something. It's all over the place.
To be honest, it is a fair amount of detail to get in such a small stitched area.
But anybody else had that problem?
Well, you know, it is again Casto. But if the the print one, the iron-on one, does look better than the stitch. Then again, I'm all for it.
Aye. No, that's fair enough. What else do you want to talk about?
It's got to be the new sponsor as well, isn't it? Because obviously there's some contention behind it. There's the potential rumored price, which we've had a conversation with a certain Man United fan on Twitter a few times about whether it's deemed fair market value and what is fair market value. So the rumored fee per season was anything between 25 and 30 million, where Fun88 was valued at 6. So it's a significant increase in terms of cash coming into the club from what we've had previous generations. It's a much needed income in terms of cash for the club as well, because we know we need to fill the piggy bank as quickly as we can if we want to stay competitive in this league and attract the best sort of players. But the logo itself, just face value, looks good. I know they are a Saudi-based company. Not sure if they are a PIF-owned company. They probably are known PIF.
Yeah,
they pretty much own everything else. But they're a sports entertainment complex company, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, they've done a few sporting kind of things already. It was interesting. I was looking through Wayback Machine at the website, and it disappeared about a year or two ago. And before that, though, there was no mention of PIF. It was owned by some bloke who founded it, and there was no mention of PIF at all. And then it kind of just went offline a little bit. And then just at the start of, was it the start of May, I think it kind of popped back into existence as if it was kind of precluding something. And initially it didn't even mention PIF either, which is why I was kind of getting a little bit confused at the time. And then the footer updated, and sure enough, it mentioned PIF at that point. So it definitely is a PIF-owned company. Whether it was when it started off or not, I don't think it was, but it definitely is now, according to the website at least. But you wouldn't look at it you know how you look at this now here, Fun88, right? It's blatantly not an English-based company, or more to the point, it's probably more orientated towards an Asian market because it's got all the Chinese lettering at the top here.
Yeah.
Despite the fact it says Fun88, it's obviously got the Asian market-focused Mandarin language at the top there. I assume it's Mandarin anyway. You wouldn't necessarily look at seller and think that's definitely an Arab company. I mean, you can kind of turn your head to the side. It looks like an A on its side there, the actual logo itself. But you wouldn't necessarily think that was an Arabic logo. So on that side of things, I think it works pretty well just from a general perspective. It doesn't really give me that much of a concern whether it's got too much of, if it had Arabic on it, I would have minded that much. I could hardly complain about it since I've been wearing this Fun88 with Chinese on it for a few seasons already. But what I wanted to talk, it was all about the timing. 9th of June. Now, you've been saying all day, look, lads, we need to be ready. It's 9th of June. There's a certain kind of event going on over the weekend here at St. James's Park, Craigie, that you rightly pointed out could be an interesting time to release it. I don't suppose it's any kind of coincidence that Sam Fender chose to do it just after the 9th of June, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It sounds a little bit coincidental. Obviously, being a massive Newcastle fan. Do you think the club have looked at that and went, first of all, 9th of June, great, but also it's a 2-night concert, I think, isn't it? Like tonight,
it is.
Tomorrow night. And you were making the point that and a few people online did it as well, mind you. They also said, like, you'd be missing a trick if you didn't get this new kit out. While you've got all these Sam Fender fans swarming around Gallagher. Tell us what you think about that, but also, when is this kit going on sale?
So it goes on sale 8 o'clock UK time on the 10th of June. So that's tomorrow for us still. We've only got 12 minutes left of today. So not sure what time that works out for us here in Queensland. I think it maybe is at 8. It's going to be 6 p.m. I think for us. So it's going to be perfect timing. So we can be sat on the club website getting ready to do our pre-orders. Make sure we're getting those Champions League badges added on because I will be getting those as part of the kit. Why wouldn't you? But perfect timing for the Sam Fender gig. Like I said, I don't know how many tickets were made available, but it'll be tens of thousands over this 2-day event. The club shop will be open for first thing from tomorrow morning. There will be queues. There'll be a shitload of people, maybe not interested in the football kit itself, but in the music. But again, they will be going in the club shop. They may be buying for other people who are interested in the kit, interested in football, that sort of thing. But Fender, he has to be wearing one on stage, doesn't he? I think it would just make perfect sense for him.
I actually made that point in the chat that it would be
Aye.
brilliant to have, especially the saxophone bloke who always wears his Newcastle top anyway.
Yeah.
What a marketing stunt that would be to get Sam Fender wearing the brand new strip, the whole lot of them wearing it. I mean, that would be quite something, wouldn't it? I'm just trying to see here if it's actually anything on the site about how much it's going to cost. I've just also realized that neck is very similar to the Blue Star strip as well.
It is, aye.
With the black stripe in the middle. But I don't see any information on the site yet. No pre-orders that I can see straight away, which you'd imagine they'd be shoving it down your throat if it was available. And it doesn't necessarily look like it's available just yet. So no idea on the pricing. They weren't that cheap last time around, were they? What do you reckon this is going to go for?
I reckon you're going to be looking at close to or over $100 for us. So that's going to be what, 60 quid in the UK? And if you want to go for the pro grade shirt, you're probably looking at what, 80 quid, which is about $120, $130 for us, which is stupid money for a shirt, really. It really is. But we're gullible enough to pay it, so you know.
that's before you get your extra badges and your bloody numbers on the back and your names and all that kind of stuff. All right, look, it's nearly midnight for us here now. We just wanted to do an early reaction to the kit launch and the new sponsor. I think the general impression that we've got, at least between you and I, Craig, is that this is actually, it's a bit of a banger, isn't it? I think this is going to work out pretty well, this one.
And if the away and the change kit are anything to go by, we've got 3 decent kits on the way this season.
Has that been leaked?
Not that I've seen, but I'd be hard to imagine if we get another green kit this year, whether it be white with green or an all green, who knows. There's been leaks of like a pale green one, but whether that's just somebody who's good at Photoshop or whatever, I don't know. But they were nowhere near the leaks of quality like what we're seeing the other day for this one.
Yeah, that leak was pretty much spot on, wasn't it?
It was, aye.
If it did an all green one, it looked like Nigeria or something. It'd be weird.
It would, aye. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. We'll have to wait.
Maybe they'll move away from it to avoid any dodgy media write-up about it, because the white and green was clearly aimed at the Saudi market. But you know, who knows?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw a rumor that they're going to keep doing that as well.
I didn't mind the white and green one. What was that, Reed?
I suppose we'll probably get 4 strips this season as well. We've got Champions League now. We've got the cups. You got your home. You got your away. There might even be a 5th, a members special that I sometimes do.
Well, we had 4 strip season gone, didn't we? Because I had the one that we had to wear at Brighton. The one with the skyline on it. That was the one for the one game.
That was training kit though. What was
it? Training kit, aye, but it was technically made a 4th kit because we wore it competitively.
Why did they wear that?
Because apparently the blue and white stripes of Brighton clashed with the black and white stripes of us. And then we had our blue and gold kit, which clashed with their blue. And then there was the white and green one, which clashed with their white stripes.
Right.
So we had to go for the all blue one, which somehow was different from the all blue and gold one.
Well, it must have been the shade of blue, obviously. The blue away is quite a solid blue, and that training one was more like a cyan kind of blue, I think.
I suppose
didn't like that strip. That strip was horrible. But this strip, I really do like. Anything else you want to say about this, Craigie, before we wrap this up? That's just a very quick 20-minute reaction.
Just let we're all know in the comments below if you think you're going to be pre-ordering the shirt, and if you're going to get the Champions League badges on it as well, because I'd imagine they will be in hot demand this season. I think everybody will be, won't they?
Get that on.
And also, what player name you're going to be getting on the back too, if any. Again, let us know in the comments, and like, comment, subscribe as per usual.
Yeah, might be wise waiting to see who was signed before you get a name on the back, because you never know. Could be a big one in there. It's not going to be Messi. So, you know, that one's off the table. The cheapest name you can get on the back, and it's not going to happen. Neymar, he sounds like he might be after Man United.
Let him go.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, Craigie, I guess that'll do. That was just a quick reaction. yeah, as Craig says, let us know what you think in the comments. And God, I hope the next time they do one of these releases, they do it when do it in the middle, do it at a more godly hour than bloody 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, Craig, I think that's done for me. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Nah, apart from Kid looks great again. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Nice one. All right. Thanks, everybody. Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, mate.